All right, we don't need to talk that much about this show. It was a good show. Flat out good. I know people are going to say, dude, it was great. For you, it's great. Others, it'll be good. And those who are not fond of WWE are going to say, who gives a fuck? That's the truth. And as I've said for months upon months and months, as long as the money keeps rolling in and everything lines up with the fans, Ari Emanuel doesn't care. It could stay exactly as it is. It's on a high. They have been doing great sellouts everywhere. They're going to Europe. Look, they touted literally everywhere they've been going, and they will go, is a flat-out sellout. And that is a good thing. Almost nearly 2 years ago, they couldn't sell out to save their life. Now, they are selling out 100%. But there are people not going to be happy about this. A lot of people going to say, WWE is doing well, but look what they did to AEW. Or basically, there's going to be other people saying, who gives a fuck, AEW deserves to die. For me, guys, all I care about is good pro wrestling. But I'm not oblivious to what's going on. As I've said before, as long as the corporation TKO WWE is connected to is getting money, we'll get what we want. And what we got right now is good pro wrestling. And I'm glad about that. Admittedly, you see a lot of advertisement. Look, I'm not for Vince, but one of the things I did like was the minimalism when it came to advertisement. Until, like, when it came to Vince's wife, she got a lot of advertisement when she was trying to run. So I'm not saying that was right. Linda got a lot of that. But in general, seeing not too much advertisement made it more palatable for the show, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. But you can tell. eBay Motors. I'm going to say it again. eBay freaking Motors. Really? eBay Motors is a sponsor of the show. That's a lot of advertisement, more than normal. And I'm not saying that's bad. And people look past it because of how good the show was today. Because it was good. There were some things I was questioning about, but it was understandable. Let's go to the two matches. Let's just get them done. The two three-way matches for the number one contenders match. So we will go to Cody. And I do believe that will be in Backlash France. I believe that's how it's pronounced. France. Louvion, France. Or France Louvion. I believe that's what it was called. Louvion. Was it Louvion? I know it wasn't Paris. But that's where they're going. And they're setting up this match. The first match. LA, Bobby, and Santos Escobar. Let's make it clear. I didn't expect Bobby to get anywhere. I didn't expect Santos Escobar to get anywhere. I expected LA Knight to get somewhere because that's where it looks like it was going. The match was fine, but LA won it. I'm not surprised LA won it. It's supposed to be LA winning it. And then the other triple threat. Ray, AJ, and KO. And as I said, the advertisement, KO's grabbing one of those special belts they have with the tigers. He said, I love tigers. Guys, I don't know about you. This is me. Maybe it's because I'm an old ass man and maybe I am set in my ways. But there are times when you should advertise. And there are times when you shouldn't. And there are times when you don't need to go overboard. And sometimes you do need to go overboard in advertisement to sell merchandise and to sell a new pay-per-view or a new show. Something, I understand it. But having KO grab one of the belts that they have that are those special belts from football, and he's carrying it around, that is the most blatant, please buy me merchandise advertisement you can see that KO is trying to do. And I'm going like, really? What the fuck? Really? It was bad enough when we had the segment with, and AJ won. We know AJ won. Now they face one another. But when you saw Logan Paul, the U.S. champion, talking, and he somewhat glazed over a little KO and gives Randy his respect, but he's talking about Prime. He's talking about how he's counting almost 20 million people out of 600 million. And it's about Prime. What is the show going to feel like in the next year? Guys, as I said, this is a mandate from the company. Logan Paul could be told, don't advertise. Your prime. Don't. And he would have to do what they say. KO didn't have to do that belt. He didn't have to do it. If they didn't do it, that would do that. eBay Motors putting the screen didn't need to do that. But damn it all, they're showing a lot of advertisement. Woo! I don't know about UFC. TKO UFC now. I don't know how they do it before the merger with WWE. How heavy they were doing advertisement. But you're going to see this crop in even more and more. It's coming. You think this is a little excessive? Watch what will happen in about a year. Remember, we're still not even a whole year into TKO. We're still not there. I'm just saying. Let's go to the Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and the Bayley. I'm going to be honest here. I expected a Naomi the job. Even though Bayley came out and she was so happy and she did the Bayley chant, hurrah chant. Let's make it clear. She's not going back to the hugger Bayley, but she is being a more friendly Bayley. The thing I liked the most was she said, when it comes to Michael Cole, he's going to be messing with me later, but it's corny what I'm about to say, but the reason I got where I am is because of all you guys. And I kind of wish that he had said, oh, you know I'm going to get you. I wish he had done that. And he says, I love you, Bayley. I wish he had done that. I wish he had not stayed silent. That was me. Me personally, when she said that line about being corny and it's all about you and Michael Cole's going to screw with her, I wish he had just said on the mic, oh yes, Bayley, when we're done tonight, I will be bothering you. I will rub you the wrong way. I would have liked that. And you hear Pat McAfee laughing about it. He said, what are you doing? Said, it's what I do with Bayley. I love Bayley. That would have been nice, but it was just me. Tiffany comes out. Let's make it clear. Tiffany, I do like me some Tiffany. She is a good character and she wrestles pretty well and she's good in gymnastics. Let's make it clear. As a pro wrestler compared to like Sol Luca or Kiana Jordan or any other woman that is doing a lot of gymnastics, she is the closest to being a good pro wrestler where she's doing a lot of good fundamental wrestling with a decent but not overbearing amount of gymnastics. That's what I give her. I expected that she was going to get that shot, but no. Naomi won the match. And I'm happy about that. But I'm going to make it very clear. We're talking about Bayley next week going against Naomi. Now, either Naomi's going to get screwed over, so she will not win, or she will win clean to Bayley. That's the deal. That's what's going to happen. It will happen. It's either she's going to get screwed by Tiffany, or she will lose to Bayley flat out clean. But either way, Bayley will get over more. She will be going into Europe looking good. And basically Naomi is not really doing much. I don't see her winning against Bayley. There is no way they're going to let Bayley lose, and go to Europe. Bayley will win. I just don't see it. So in a sense, I just don't see much going on with Naomi. Yes, she got the win over Tiffany. Does not mean she's going to be doing much. And to be honest, after what happened to Jimmy, I'm wondering what are they going to do with her, or him for that matter. Next, let's go through this match very quickly. Women's tag match. You got Chelsea Green. You got Piper Niven. And you got the two most dominant women who are built like this in Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Literally, they fed them Piper Niven, and more likely, they actually fed a Chelsea Green again to a Jade Cargill. I didn't see Raw. I didn't see it. So I did not see that particular... Well, I did see Raw, but I didn't see that particular match. I didn't. So seeing Jade get destroying... Well, not get destroyed, but destroying Chelsea Green and then destroying her again. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What are you getting? Are we going to have Bianca and a Jade Cargill win those damn titles just to give them both something to do? Or just because they're two black women? I'm not being racist here, guys. But I am being honest. What did we have before them that was the most controversial? Two black women who were known to be very good, who got so frustrated, they were done with it, they handed those titles in, and now, what do we got? Two possible black women, again, monsters like this, that will take the titles, and they will finally do something with them when they should have done it with the other two black women before. And one of them is Naomi, who is now not doing much, who I still feel like is eating shit and have to like the taste of it because she left because of what happened with that decision she made. And now she's not really doing much but putting other people over. That's what it feels like. This is what it feels like, guys. For me personally, yes, she will help Bayley. She's going to work probably with Tiffany. But does that mean she's going to do anything? I don't know. You guys tell me below. Next match, which wasn't really a match. It was a squash match. That was Breakker versus a Cameron Grimes. That wasn't even a match. That was just a squash match. That was just him destroying someone. And I will make it clear, I hated the music. His original music in NXT, for me personally, sounds a lot better than this one. It sounds way too generic. Why did they change it? Why? Who decided to change his music? It was not that bad. In fact, I think it was much better. It makes you feel like he is that dominant. This music does not. It feels so generic to me personally. But that's just me. Because I have reviewed NXT for so long, I do know these guys more than maybe JD would know. But not saying JD has not watched NXT, because he said he has, but he just doesn't really review it much. Well, actually, he's never reviewed it. He hasn't reviewed it at all. He barely talks about it. Now, does that mean he's watching it all the time? I don't know. Maybe not. Just Alex, I don't even know if he even seen NXT in the last year or so. But I review it. And I know that that song just does not fit a Braun Breaker. I'm just saying. Now, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this. Now, I know I'm probably going to miss something. I'm missing something. But let's get to this. After Cody talked, yes, he did. He spoke about Rock. He spoke about what happened. And he spoke about the new, number one contenders, kind of like a tournament. You got two. Did I like the segment with him? Not really. It sounded very generic. For me personally, it did what it needed to do. And that's the point of it. It's not about it being really flamboyant, really mind-bending, really special. It's just meant to get what needs to be done on this show. Setting up two triple threats for his title. That's what it was for. So, you already know who won. AJ and LA Knight. My boy LA. We get the Bloodline segment. We get Paul Heyman. We get Solo Sikoa. We get Jimmy Uso. Talking, basically Paulie's the one that's talking. He's talking about what had happened, how Roman Reigns could have really blown it so easily because he wanted to get back at Seth Rollins so badly. That is the reason why he blew it. That is the reason why he's not the champion. That is the reason why Cody Rhodes took the opportunity and gained it. But here's where it gets interesting. Before that segment in the ring happened, they go to the locker room. Cody Rhodes is in the locker room. Solo's not liking it. But Paulie tells him, calm down. There are consequences to winning and losing. Our consequences is that we lost our locker room. But it doesn't mean we can't get it back. That is what he tried to relay to Solo. And as he did his segment and about to say the Phoenix of Roman Reigns come back, puts his hand down, and he says there are consequences, isn't it, for losing. For those who lose, there are consequences. And he says, yeah, that's what Paulie did. That's what Paulie said. And he backs up Paulie and he walks over to his older brother. Oh, let me give it to you like this. The attitude that Jimmy gave to Solo was and should have been what Jimmy should have had for the last 6 months with Solo. I'm telling you right now, this is me. The attitude that Jimmy Uso exhibited before the hug and told I love you. The attitude of him going like, what are you looking at me? You want to start something? This is what Jimmy should have been after Jay left. And he should have been the dominant brother since he's older than Jay by about a minute or two and older than Solo. That is the attitude that I wanted to see. I wanted to see Jimmy act exactly the way he did for that few seconds before Solo hugged him and he started smiling, and then get pretty much jumped by, guess who? Tonga. I remember his name, and it made my ass laugh every single time, and I cannot forget the Gorillas of Destiny. Tonga, the Gorilla of Destiny. Oh, my allergies are up, so I've been coughing. Tonga wipes out Jimmy with Solo. Solo gives a spike. He goes over to Paulie, who at that moment is horrified. And he knows that's Haku's son. And to WWE's credit, to Corey Graves' credit, and to Wade Barrett's credit, they recognize that he'd been working in Japan. They didn't say New Japan Pro Wrestling, which would have been nice. Look, there's nothing wrong with mentioning another promotion. I don't know why they hadn't done it. With Naomi, they spoke about her 2 SmackDown Women's Championship runs, but they didn't say anything about the TNA Championship. And I think that would be helpful for her. To at least be recognized as a TNA champion as well as a 2-time SmackDown champion. But at least they did recognize that he was in Japan and was dominant. And he annihilated Jimmy. And then once the chair was put over Jimmy's head by Solo and says, I love you again, like he did when he hugged him, he basically backed that ass up and destroyed him with his hip attack. And then, as the hand goes up, all 3 of them, Tama, Solo, Paulie's going call Roman Reigns, Mike, well, not Mike, but phone grab, stomped that shit, which he didn't break it, because he should have put his heel into it and then really broke it, because now Solo wears wrestling socks now. He's not barefoot anymore, which I think is a good thing for him. Not that he probably have bad feet or something, but it's good to see that he's progressed a little bit, that he's now wearing wrestling socks. Nothing wrong with that. But that's what we got. We got a god from New Japan Pro Wrestling appearing. I thought it was going to be Jacob Fatu from MLW, but it's Tonga. So the question is going to be, is Jacob Fatu really going to be there or not in NXT or not? That's going to be a big question. If Jacob Fatu is going to be there, and we already got Tonga's coming straight on the main roster, eventually, once Jacob Fatu comes to the main roster, you're going to have, understand, when he comes back, both of them come back. You're going to have The Rock, Roman Reigns, you're going to have Solo, you're going to have Jimmy, you're going to have Jay, you're going to have Tonga, and if he's there, Jacob Fatu. That's seven Samoan descendants from Chief Maivia, Akasika, and also Rikishi. And Haku. All of them. All their kids are now going to be in WWE. That is a lot of Samoan wrestlers that is going to be on one roster. And that hasn't been done since maybe the 90s or late 80s, easily. When we had what we had. The Wild Samoans. We had, I'm trying to remember all of them because it's kind of hard to remember them all. You had the Wild Samoans. You had the Genius. You had, I can't remember all of them. There was so many of them. Blanking, Yokozuna, you had, Rikishi, you had, Oh my goodness, why am I'm blanking on one person. Who am I forgetting? There's someone I'm forgetting. There's one more I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting someone. I don't know why. I'll probably remember when I finish this recording. But Umaga. There you go. Umaga. And there's probably somebody else I'm forgetting. But that is a lot of Samoans on the roster in such a long time. And the question's going to be, how are they going to book them all? How are we going to book them all? Right now, Jay is on Raw. You're going to have Solo, Jimmy, Tama, Tonga. All of them, along with Roman Reigns, who will probably stay on SmackDown, and The Rock, who will go between SmackDown and Raw. I'm sure he's going to do either one. So you're going to have a whole bunch on SmackDown, one on Raw, and one that can go back and forth anytime he wants. It's going to be very interesting. This is me. Peace.